100 of China's most elite chefs converge, from humble neighborhood restaurateurs to the masters of fine dining. Each will leverage their culinary mastery, vying for the singular, coveted title of culinary god. Sparks flew from the very beginning. The young chefs are eager to prove the new school surpasses the old, but the veterans fire back, confident that experience trumps youth. The Gen Z chefs boldly declare that their time has come. This is destined to be a grueling battle, a showdown of honor and skill. The women in the competition are a force to be reckoned with, ready to prove they are second to none. For everyone, there is only one goal: the championship title. Stepping onto the set, the contestants were awestruck by the sheer scale of the venue. The entire arena was designed like a colossal chessboard, with a clear line in the sand drawn right down the middle. The breathtaking Chinese-inspired light effects earned gasps of admiration. The contestants filed in, searching for the stations bearing their code names. They hail from every corner of the country, masters of diverse regional cuisines and armed with unique skills. There is Summer Night Star Chef from Xiamen, a specialist in exquisite Fujian cuisine, and Burning Jr., a seasoned veteran of countless international competitions. More intimidatingly, the room was a veritable summit of champions. The endless parade of championship titles was crushing pressure for the others. There is the old rascal of the stove from Chengdu, who has run a legendary hotspot for decades. Fisherman Fresh, the founder of a national seafood restaurant empire, and the Stir-Fried Pork King, a household name in China's biggest cities. And of course, you can't forget the maverick internet. Famous chefs, like Brother Large Intestine, who shot to fame for his now infamous 9-turn large intestine video. This time, he is here to set the record straight about his signature dish, and representing the city of Shenyang, the chicken skeleton prince. Beyond the men, the female chefs formed a stunning and formidable lineup, from the Mulan of the back kitchen, who fights in her father's stead, to the private chef on a mission to win glory for all women in the industry. Their presence added a brilliant new dimension to the competition. On top of that, there is a squad of handsome young chefs who are the complete package: skill, style, and star power. Among them, the Bald Fire Breather from Beijing's Waldorf Astoria French restaurant, and Winning with Rolls, a master of innovative private dining. Just when everyone thought the roster was complete, the studio lights suddenly went dark. 16 mysterious, top-tier chefs made a dramatic entrance, heralded by sci-fi-inspired effects. Their arrival made the energy in the room electric, the pressure instantly palpable. These are the veritable rock stars of China's food scene. There is Liang Weihao, an international master of Western cuisine with decades of experience. Zheng Huaijun, the Sichuan cuisine queen, an icon and one of the most powerful women in Chinese cooking. And Chen Xiaodong, a pioneer of modern Cantonese cuisine and a 2-diamond black pearl chef. Every one of them is a legend, leaving the junior chefs both thrilled and terrified. One chef said it felt like being a high school player suddenly facing down Michael Jordan and Yao Ming. The host then announced this season's format. The 16 elite chefs would form the Grandmaster Camp. The other 84 contestants would form the Challenger Camp. The Grandmasters would compete using their real names. The Challengers, only their code names. This made the Challengers feel like they weren't even worthy of a name. This blatant inequity only fueled the Challengers' fighting spirit. One by one, they vowed to prove themselves with skill and take down the Grandmasters. But the brutal reality hit them first: an internal elimination. Of the 84 challengers, only 16 would survive to earn the right to face the Grandmasters. The staggering elimination rate sent a shockwave through the room. One chef muttered, "Forget about it." To add insult to injury, the Grandmasters were exempt from this first round and advanced automatically. "That is not fair," one challenger declared. "The rules should be the same for everyone." Despite the outrage, they all chose to stay and fight. After all, this was a true Fey clash of the Titans Fey, and the chance to compete against the greatest was an honor in itself. The qualifying round began. 120 minutes to create one signature dish. In a flash, the kitchen became a whirlwind of fire and steel, a symphony of ingredients and techniques. Some pushed their boundaries, attempting dishes they'd never made before. Others honored tradition, using premium ingredients to perfect classic flavors. With only 16 spots on the line, everyone pulled out all the stops. The judges prowled the kitchen floor, their sharp eyes missing nothing. First to present was Mulan of the back kitchen, with a light, refreshing seared mackerel. Her goal was to let the pristine ingredients speak for themselves through simple cooking. But the judges found that while the components were tasty on their own, they failed to create synergy, and her journey came to an early end. Judge Nicholas TSE stressed that great plating must enhance the act of eating. It can never be form over substance. Soon after, another chef was sent home for chasing luxury ingredients at the expense of the dish's soul. Hacker Shockwave presented a salt-baked pigeon leg stuffed with force meat. He was supremely confident, believing his control over seasoning was unmatched. The dish was creative, beautifully plated, and the flavor was on point. But the fatal flaw was the skin rushed by the clock. It wasn't rendered properly and was unpleasantly tough. It wasn't enough to keep him in the competition. Brother Large Intestine couldn't escape the same fate, recreating his infamous signature dish. But under pressure, the intestine wasn't braised long enough to become tender, and he stumbled once again. The string of eliminations tightened the tension in the room until Summer Night Star Chef brought up his Yongshan white duck soup with pomfret lion's head meatballs. His dish was a mosaic of ingredients from the sky, land, and sea. It looked complex, but the taste was incredibly harmonious. The broth was a deep umami bomb. The lion's head was as delicate as tofu, and every ingredient shone individually while contributing to a perfect whole. With that, Summer Night Star Chef triumphantly claimed the first spot in the next round. Next, Old Rascal of the Stove's spicy crab, with its authentic Sichuan heat and flawless wok control, also earned him a place. However, his second dish, crayfish, was made with a store-bought hot pot base, which failed to showcase his own skill and was rejected. Winning with rolls presented an incredibly technical butter chicken roll. He had deboned an entire chicken, keeping the skin perfectly intact, then created different fillings from the various meats and re-rolled it all inside the skin. Such breathtaking skill and a crystal-clear concept meant he sailed through to the next round with ease. Also displaying incredible technique was the chemistry whiz with his beef Wellington. He ingeniously replaced the traditional foie gras with Chinese cured sausage, which solved the problem of the filling drying out. This brilliant touch and meticulous attention to detail earned rave reviews, securing his spot. The Lion City Dark Horse from Malaysia paid homage to his Hakka roots with a lobster rice soup. He built a broth from lobster shells and dried seafood, using no salt or MSG, extracting pure natural umami. This commitment to tradition and flavor purity punched his ticket to the next round. But another Hakka chef, Formosa's Plum Blossom, with her leopard coral grouper, cooked the fish to perfection. But the sauce lacked the necessary acidity and depth, landing her Fei on the bubble Fei. Also ending up Fei in the danger zone Fei was Bald Fire Breather. His charcoal fried rice was a creative triumph, but the judges felt the heavy seasoning masked the delicate aroma of the rice, denying him a direct pass. By comparison, Judge Vicky's criteria were far stricter. Faced with a slew of excellent fusion dishes, he dismissed nearly all of them, citing a fundamental imbalance. Either the sauce overpowered the protein, or there were too many competing elements, causing the dish to lose its focus. That is, until the veteran Burning Jr. stepped forward with his lamb 3 ways. He treated different cuts of lamb with different techniques, offering both meltingly tender loin and char, grilled crispy belly ribs. The dish was a symphony of textures and flavors, perfectly balanced, a masterclass in execution. With that, Burning Jr. became the first challenger to be personally selected by Judge Vicky. The private kitchen queen showcased a less is more philosophy with a classic soy sauce chicken. She started her soy master stock a week in advance, and during the competition, spent 40 painstaking minutes continuously ladling the sauce over the chicken. The result was bouncy skin, succulent meat, and a deep, mellow flavor. A perfect ode to the spirit of traditional Cantonese cooking. This incredible artistry earned her the respect of everyone and a guaranteed spot. In the end, after 3 grueling rounds, the 16 coveted spots were finally claimed. Now, they will face the 16 Grand Masters in a true Fei winner. Takes all showdown Fei.